Hey everyone, my name's Dan and I'm going to review today the JetBoil Minimo. This is a great bit of kit if you're going out camping or just going for a hike and want to boil up some water for a nice cup of tea. So to start off with, I'm just going to take the bottom off, which is a little measuring jug. So on the side here you've got 100 to 300 ml measurements, so perfect for measuring out tea or water for tea, or your pasta or anything like that at all, so really handy to have that. Now the JetBoil itself, if you remove the lid, you get the legs for the gas canister, which I'll show you how to put on in a second. And also the lid features a little drinking spout and some holes, obviously let the steam out when you're boiling the water up. The JetBoil itself has an outer neoprene skin to keep it safe, so you can still pick it up when it's hot. And it's also got some extra handles as well, which is good for pouring, so you can use the spout on the actual lid to pour the boiling water rather than having to pick it up and potentially burn yourself. So inside the JetBoil you have this little orange bag, and inside the bag is the burner element. So on here you've got this extra part here, which for those of you that have used mess tins in the past, you can obviously still use that. You just fold out the legs and pop that on the top, and you can place your mess tin on top rather than having to use that part itself. I'm not going to use that today, so I'll put it to one side. I'm going to concentrate on this bit. It's got a small arm which you flick out, and it's also got the ignition button. So you don't have to take a lighter with you. It's got the ignition built in, which is really handy if you don't smoke like me. To fit this to the actual JetBoil itself, you've got a small rivet here, which just goes into that hole. Make sure it lines up on both sides, and then you just twist it slightly and that's locked in place. Then you get your gas canister, and it's easier if you actually tip this upside down on this part and screw that on until you hear that hiss, and just tighten it up a little to make sure it's secure on there. And then get the legs from your lid, which just pop out, and then fold the legs out, and then you just clip that onto the base of the gas canister. It's a little fiddly, but a little bit of force that goes on there. And this is the 100 ml gas canister. There is the 250, I believe it is, which fits into the slightly larger rivets on there. So that's the JetBoil all set up, ready to go. I'm just going to pour some water out, how much I would use for a cup of tea. I'm actually going to be using my Sea to Summit mug, which is the XL mug. It's a really good mug because it actually fits inside the Minimo, even with the other bits in the bag, because it folds completely flat. I mean, that's very helpful when you're trying to save space on a wild camp or anything like that. So pour some water in, how much I would have for a cup of tea. Pop that in my JetBoil, put the lid on, and then I'm just going to turn the gas on. You can hear that hiss, hit the ignition, and then just turn the gas up and then leave that for a few seconds. So this is super fast in regards to trying to boil a kettle or using a mess tin to boil up water for pasta or tea. This is so much quicker. I think this takes 20-25 seconds to give me boiling water, which is just brilliant. When you're out and about wild camping, the last thing you want to do is spend time having to boil up loads of water. So as you can see already, there's smoke coming out of the top of this, or steam I should say, coming out of the top of this, and I think in a second they'll probably be ready to actually to drink, and you can hear just the change there in the water boiling. So I would say, looking at the amount of steam that's coming out now, that this is ready to go. So I'm going to turn my burner off, just pull these handles out so I don't have to grab it too much, but as I say, you can grab it now. I mean, there's boiling water in there, and then pour that into my cup, and you've got a lovely warm cup of tea there for you. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you want to see more like this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.